Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
And I'm CarnagePanda.
And we are back for weeks
8
of Anime Talk. Fall 2018. Where finally we're back on one episode per week. Thank you. Almost. But we're getting there. But this was a good week. This is actually a fantastic week for animes. Even though
it's not week 5 at least.
Thank God for that. But it was actually, this week specifically, it was actually a pretty good week. Even the ones that we've been kind of middling on, we're actually pretty good. At least I was kind of invested. So without further ado, not much preamble, because other than to say once again, and this is a problem with this season. I don't know how you guys are feeling about this season, but for us, it's usually we rank them, and it's like this one we like the least to this one we like the most. This season, for the most part, has not given us a lot to rank because it's all been really good in and of, each one in and of its own right.
So, Featherhoof, tell us how you feel about the season being 75% over and there's only 4 episodes left. I guess that works.
So, we were in week 8, and it's a 12-week season, not a 13-week?
I think some of them have 13 episodes.
God, I mean, it's sad, but, all good things have to come to an end eventually. But we're not there yet. We have week 8 to talk about. So without further ado, let's jump right on into the animes.
The first anime that we're going to be talking about this week, the first anime, let me put it this way, is going to be Banana Fish. And this week it's a triple feature because we had to catch up on everything.
Yes.
So we have episodes 18, 19, and 20.
Which I like to call good, better, and best.
So we have the Golzine being stupid arc.
Yes, God. I mean, I've heard of obsessions before, but this guy takes it to an extreme.
I don't even, man, Golzine. He's just too obsessed about Ash, and his obsession comes from stupidity.
Yeah.
At least from my viewpoint.
I think it comes from he's fat and bald.
So
and has a mustache.
I want to talk about that because in earlier episodes he looked like a bigger man.
He kind of did, yeah.
So it's like he has shrunk over the course of the anime.
I think it's because before, in the earlier episodes, we were dealing with Golzine was the big bad, and he was fighting kids.
Literally the big bad.
Well, he was fighting children. They're all teenagers. Now we've got larger characters in there.
Yes, we
have fucking not Arden, it's Blanca.
Blanca. He's not from Brazil.
Nor is he green, and he can't generate electricity.
But, this guy's huge.
I mean, I love the scene with Sing, where Sing's like going to knock on Yutlong's door, and it's just like shadow comes over him, turns around, it's just like giant Russian right there behind him.
Yeah, Sing is one of our smaller characters.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's not hard to say, besides like the pink-haired dude who you keep calling the vampire, I think him and Sing are literally the shortest characters in the show since the little black kid got killed.
The feels, man.
Yeah, I know.
But the pink-haired dude, I've never learned his name or anything.
Me either.
But he has 2 fangs. He has to be a vampire. There was a great reveal in the manga or something that they just glossed over for the anime. They cut it out where he was just going out at night and eating people. But I don't understand why he was drawn with fangs. I mean, usually this is put on girls, and because it's a Japanese thing to
cute, isn't it?
To signify that they're cute.
Or isn't it not just cute, but also kind of dumb? Isn't it just for the kind of dumb character?
Well, mostly cute, but I can't even with the 2 fangs. He's a vampire. And he walks around in daytime, so this must be the Blade universe.
Ah, of course. So, 18, 19, 20. We're not going to talk about them episode. We're just going to talk about it because it was one continuous arc.
It's one continuous arc. It's pretty much the same episode.
Yeah.
Over, they're like 20 minutes each, so...
Yeah. So it's
an hour.
Yeah. It was a good arc, too. So, basically, Ash... I think, like, Golzine is rubbing off on Ash because he has a stupid moment. Because he knows that there's a sniper, and he suspects it's Blanca. Actually, he pretty much is confirmed as Blanca when he goes to the Seat of Crime and sees the book there. And he's in AG's room and just goes... whips open the curtains. And it's like, no, maybe I was wrong. AG walks in the room. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of rifle he was using.
Some kind of semi-automatic sniper rifle, apparently, because he popped off... in a matter of 10 seconds, he popped off at least 12 rounds.
Speaking of that, have you ever played around with the Indra in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer?
Yes.
That must have been what he was using. Because the first time I saw that gun, I was like...
Wait, just to clarify for those who haven't played Mass Effect 3, that's the 3-shot burst sniper rifle, isn't it?
No.
Oh, what am I thinking of?
That's like the Incisor or something.
Oh, okay, that's Incisor. You're right. Which one was the Indra?
The Indra is a fully automatic sniper rifle.
I'll put up a picture for all y'all who need it.
Yeah, so the first time I saw that sniper rifle, I was like laughing my ass off. I was like, what the hell's going on? Because you could get it now in the game, but at first it was just one of those pre-order promotional items.
Yep. So, apparently, Blanca has broken the Matrix and he's reached into Mass Effect 3 and stolen this sniper rifle. Because he just went... I don't know what the fuck? So, now Ash is in full I must protect AG mode. Yulong calls him right after the attack and just like, tells it, you're going to meet us here at this time and we're going to discuss terms. So Ash, he does. He goes and he's like, okay, just walks in there.
They're like, you've fallen right into our trap. We have you right where we want you.
So he's like, okay, what were the terms? It was, you will give back all the data you stole on Banana Fish. You will give us Dr. Why do I never
Dr.
remember?
Wiley. That's all I could think of when I saw him sleeping. I was like, because they only show him for like a moment, sleeping in a bed, and he looks like Dr. Wiley in this episode.
The guy who created Banana Fish. Give us them, and and you'll go back to the Monsieur, Golzine, and what was it? Oh yeah, and you'll have everything stripped of you, and you'll be like the lowest of lowest prostitutes, doing things that no other prostitute will would survive doing, and if you do that, then we won't kill AG. To which he just went, okay. Actually, no, my favorite part was like, he sings like, he points a gun at Ash, and he's like, well, if you're gonna shoot me, can you just do it already? He's like, no. I love how Lung's like, I'm in charge and the mastermind of everything. But Ash keeps proving how much of a dumbass he is.
This is going all according to plan.
And it's like, no, you're gonna shoot yourself. Unless you don't think you have the balls, and he just, bang! He's like, click, 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 click.
And so, Lung is like, my masterfully laid plan. He called my bluff. What am I gonna do now?
Look, I love basically Ash gives up everything for AG, and Yulong is so pissed about it. I love Yulong is pissed that Ash loves AG. He's so mad about it.
I must have missed the part where Yulong was obviously jealous over AG's love.
Apparently,
for Ash, when did this happen?
And then it's like, it continues all 3 episodes. Every time it's like, oh yes, you're going to do this thing for AG, and Ash is done. And then he looks like, what the fuck?
He looks like,
why?
No! What?
It's so great. So, basically, that's all episode 18 was. It's just Ash, giving up everything. And now it's a month later? 18 and 19, there's a month skip.
Yeah, there's an entire month goes by in 18 while he's in Golzine's mansion, and he's on a hunger strike.
Yep.
Because according to Ash, the food tasted like dog barf, but in reality, he didn't.
He didn't
really care.
Yeah, he was being all anorexic about it.
Yeah.
Is it anorexic or bulimic, the one where they
it's
throw it
anorexic
up?
because
he wasn't.
Bulimia is the throwing up.
Then what's anorexia again?
That's where you just don't eat.
Oh, okay. Well, no, because Golzine even said he tried to force him to eat food and he couldn't keep it down. So
well, maybe he.
I don't know. So he wasn't going nom 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 mon mon mon. So he's like what was it? He's like taking him to places and he's like acting all evil and shit. Like telling the generals of the U.S. Army to how to basically fuck over their own troops for the greater good or whatever.
Speaking of fucking over the troops, how about them subtitles of going over to Afghanistan and the Maliban?
Gotta stop those Maliban. Damn those people over in Afghanistan. So I love it because it shows Ash and he's all being evil and he's looking good doing it too. But then it's like he shows him afterwards and he's just like he can't take it. He's breaking down, and Golzine's he's yelling at Golzine. You said I was going to be the lowest low prostitute. Send me to that. It's worse than doing this. It wouldn't be as worse as doing this. And he's like, oh no. You're not prostituting your body. You're prostituting your soul. So, he even tries to go in for a kiss on Ash. Just like, blah, 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 blah. And I guess Ash bit him or something. Because he pulls away and they both got blood on their face.
I don't have words for these scenes. I mean, nobody got raped, so there's.
Well, isn't rape technically defined as the unwanted, undesired, sexual advances?
Well, to be honest, Golzine is unwanted and undesired in any context.
Yeah. So, it's basically he is trying to groom Ash and he's trying to break him down so that he could he can be his successor, and it's Golzine he's so fucked in the brain. He's
just stupid because the audience knows that this is gonna backfire in his face.
It's like, and his grand plan is to adopt Ash?
Yes, to which Ash loses it.
Oh, that scene when Golzine comes in to tell him that we're gonna have a party to celebrate my beating the charges of
tax evasion.
We're gonna have a big party, and he's just like, oh, and by the way, I'm going to announce my adoption of you, and Ash loses it. He has this if you ever played Xenogears, Xenosaga. He has this very Albedo-esque speech soliloquy thing where he sort of laughs hysterically and insanely, which he keeps calling Golzine Dad and Papa, but ironically,
yeah,
he just comes over, boom, just kicks him in the face and starts pounding on him.
Remember, kids, violence is wrong.
Yeah, just ask the people in the Gundam universe. But so meanwhile, all that's going on, and Ash, Sing, and Kane Blood of the Black Sabbath get together, and
these names, man.
AG with Ash's group, Sing with his group, and Kane with his group, they get together to form a plan to save Ash. Which is okay, it's interesting. Even AG's like, I need a gun, because that's gonna help. A guy who's never killed another person before in his life, in a high-pressure situation like that requires precision timing and no hesitation, let's give him a gun. Let's put him at point. Which they do. They put him at point.
And they storm the
party.
And dance party.
Ash is at this party. He's in a wheelchair because he's that weak, and Golzine's been every time they go in public, he poisons him with something to make him blind.
That dilates his eyes so that he can't see real well.
Yeah, so that Ash can't do anything. And this is important because we're going to get to a part here when AG and them storm the party, save Ash. They're carrying Ash out, and actually AG gets a shot in. He actually hits Golzine in basically, I think it was the exact same place that Ash hit him, technically 15 episodes ago.
Technically, he missed him.
According to Singh, he missed, but the bullet went right there.
Right into his arm.
Oh, I mean, that
or
way.
some spot.
Yeah.
In his arm, and he's like, "How could you have missed?"
So how do you miss at that range? It's like he hit him. But apparently, I guess he was hoping he would kill him. But
I guess only headshots count in this show.
Which, by the way, so they're carrying Ash. Ash or AG and the pink-haired vampire have got Ash. Each carrying him each by one arm, and Ash with his masterful Wolverine senses hears someone the cock of a gun, pulls the gun out. Mind you, a month worth where he's only been surviving on water and IV solution, no food. Picks up the gun out of AG's belt, whips around with no eyesight, mind you, no eyesight. Headshot.
Can we get some Valve anti-cheat here?
Yeah, seriously. What the fuck? They escape into the sewers, to which like, oh, we're totally safe. And Ash is like, we're not totally safe, you dumbasses.
So, apparently being in the subway or sewers or something is not safe, especially when nobody has any idea where you are.
Because,
they'll figure this out.
Because Blanca is helping the bad guys. He's contracted to Ute Lung currently to protect him. And...
Or troll him, I'm not sure which
I think a little bit of both. So he's like, he's apparently the god of this universe because he realizes everything instantaneously. He beat Ash up like it was fucking nothing in episode 18. And he's a guy that even Ash goes, if he's here, we're fucked, man. It's game over, man. Game over. And
yeah, so he's the guy that Ash is scared of.
Right.
And Ash is like a kung fu master and does nothing but headshots.
Yeah.
So this leads me to speculate on how exactly badly fucked up you get if you get killed by Blanca. I'm like, does he destroy your soul or something?
Well, we saw what happens. Remember, he killed the Republican and then that general guy. And when he shot the dude that was having sex with remember the guy who was about to have sex with Ash? The bullet exploded his head.
No, it wasn't the Republican. It was like the colonel or the general or something.
No, the Republican in bed with him. The general was the one who was killed in the car crash.
Yeah, so he shot the general so hard that he crashed into a gas truck.
He shot his driver so hard that it veered the car. The force of the bullet veered the car straight into a tanker truck.
A tanker truck, which causes it to explode.
Spontaneously exploded. So that's how bad Blanca is. You don't fuck with that guy.
Yeah. Well, at least he didn't leave traces.
Yeah. So it leads to this like big chase through the sewers, and AG grows some balls. Fucking AG grows some balls here. He's like, Ash is all like, I need to lead them away, and AG's like, fuck that noise, and like, takes the distraction role with Vampire and random black guy. Well, the black guy who was always with Vampire Kid.
Can we give some shout outs to the guy who was shooting into the tunnel and couldn't kill anybody?
Oh God, yeah.
And then got perforated.
I felt bad for the guy. There was the guy who was trying to, who was laying down suppressive fire, and the guy's like, "They're coming! They're right there!" And he did that while standing right in the line of fire instead of moving away from the hole.
Oh,
because he too gets perforated.
Poor guys.
And again, Ash, still suffering from a month of anorexia and only barely getting his eyesight back, is running through a subway train car and shooting dudes headshots with 2 bullets, mind you. Killed 3 guys, all headshots.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I seriously would not want to be playing this guy in some first-person shooter because...
Nope. He would get banned from the server for people claiming he had a name bot.
Yeah, if he does, come on, man. He's like blind, he can't see, and he's still getting headshots. He headshots all these guys, and then like leads them on a wild goose chase. Ute Lungs guys because they're trying to chase him down.
Oh, in the museum?
Yeah.
Yes.
And while he's running alongside shooting at the car, like, spontaneously, the two guys in the lead both get headshotted.
Yeah.
And I don't even, man.
So the whole thing culminates in this big shootout in the Natural History Museum. And it's like... It's almost like an Alien movie if Ash was the alien. Because he cuts the power so there's no lights, and he just systematically kills everyone and anyone who enters.
With headshots.
And even people who don't enter. A guy comes over to give a report to Ute Lung, and just spontaneously his head explodes.
This is nothing if not entertaining.
Mm-hmm. So, it breaks down to Ash captures Ute Lung. AG and all of Ash's friends get caught. So, there's a negotiation that happens.
Yeah, he captures Ute Lung because King Blood and his posse roll up in their, like, super tricked out cars.
Gangsta-mobiles.
And they're like, yeah, we came to crash the party. And then the other guys show up with AG, and they're like, we got some hostages. And then King Blood's like, well, we gotta go.
Well, Ash told him to go.
I think it's funnier my way.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's funnier, yeah. So, the deal is, Blanca will let Ash's friends go, and Ash will let Ute Lung go, because if Blanca doesn't, the guy that even Ash is scared of, he's like, if you don't, your perfect reputation will be tarnished because you'll let a client die, and I guess that's his kryptonite, because he's like,
I can't have my perfect record tarnished.
Because he's like, okay, and they're like, okay, at the same time, ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, and then AG and them run that way, and Ash just goes, fine, here. Boots Ute Lung down the stairs.
He's just like, screw you, Ute Lung.
And at the same time, like at that exact moment, like suddenly, because Blanca's just that much of a badass, like there's suddenly a gun in his hand. And, well, like he's just like fires at AG. AG throws his knife at them, and they both hit each other in the arm. Like they both block projectiles with their arms. Like, fuck your projectile. And they just...
Well, he had to block the knife because it was gonna be a headshot.
Yeah, it would have been.
He made the correct move.
He did. So, it's... so they all get away. It's like, oh, okay. Whew, they all got away.
Let's press F for Ute Lung's feels. He
Let's
is
not.
unrequited love here.
Ute Lung, man. I remember, like, when he's first introduced, he's just like this... yes, I'm great at espionage and interrogation because I'm able to like and like I'm a great spy because I'm good at acting and I'm always keep my cool. And the past like 4 or 5 episodes, he's just been like pure psychotic.
You know what happened? He met Golzine, and Golzine must have convinced him that this is the path to go down.
Apparently,
and now his entire life is fucked up because he took the bad advice from Golzine.
Yep. So, Golzine comes up and he's like, look, you know what? We don't need you no more, Ute Lung. You leave Ash to us. Because that's worked so well for him in the past. And that's sort of where it ends. I do like the introduction of the character Blanca. It kind of gives us a little bit of a view into Ash's upbringing. In that he was Ash's teacher, apparently. He taught him everything. From what it sounds like, he was his.
Yeah, he taught him kung fu and stuff,
and marksmanship, and I'm assuming also why he's so smart. Because it seems this Blanca guy's also fucking intelligent.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would have introduced Blanca earlier.
I kind of do too, but he does make for a good final boss.
Is he gonna be the final boss though?
According to the opening credits,
I mean,
it does look that way.
Sometimes I look into the opening credits and think they're going to predict things. Then it turns out it doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes.
You're like, what? You lied to me, opening.
But, I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. But I do like the character. Blanca's fun. Because he looks like a guy who has his own plans.
Yeah.
Like, he's not... I'm gonna kind of call it...
I feel like he should go back to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And chill with his chocolate-colored women. Because...
No, that's not him being racist or nothing. That's what he says.
Like,
Blanca says that.
going along with Golzine is not a good long-term solution to your livelihood or life expectancy.
Well, also remember, he came there originally to decline the offer. But then he became interested after following Ash around. So I think he sort of formed his own little plan. I think he has his own thing that's neither Golzine's nor Yutlong's, and he's playing both. I think he's playing both.
Well, we'll see. We'll see in the next 4 episodes.
Oh,
the finale of Banana Fish.
But we have 4 weeks until we get to that. So with that said, I mean, Banana Fish, amazing as always. 3 episodes that I actually would have been pissed to watch them, you know, like with week intermissions between, because they literally flowed right into one another. And it was a great little 3-episode arc.
I guess that was a blessing in disguise that we got behind or something.
Yeah, a little bit. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the next anime on the list. Next on the list is, of course, the ever interesting Double Decker.
But that was boring, so let's skip it.
Who are you, the announcer?
Yes. On to the next episode.
Now, not that I wouldn't mind doing that, but I mean, Double Decker this week actually, while going back to its formulaic roots, was still fun this episode.
I feel like this was a lot more fun than what we've gotten.
And I'm wondering if that's because it didn't focus on Doug and Kirill. It really, even though Doug and Kirill were still main characters, the focus was Max and Robot. Or Boxer and Robot.
Boxer and Robot. Same thing, actually, because that Boxer is Max.
Yeah, Maxine, but... Maxine, tomato. But, and I wonder if that's because they made them the focus. I'm wondering at this point if Doug and Kirill are actually detrimental to the show.
Yeah, it feels like, maybe they've done way too many episodes on Doug and Kirill, even though they are the title characters.
Right.
It's their show because...
But I'm wondering if it shouldn't have been.
I don't know.
Because I'm finding when there's episodes that, like when they did Pink and Rookie, I enjoyed that episode a lot more than normally. When they focused on Boxer and Robot, I was like, I'm a little more invested. Maybe it's because I wanted to know more about them.
Yeah, I think the thing is that we need more character development and more time with these other characters other than, Doug and Kirill.
Yeah, Doug being stoic and Kirill being retarded. Because it literally is that every time they're the focus. It's like, watch Doug, solve every mystery very Sherlock Holmesian, and Kirill being dragged around for the ride being stupid. But, I mean, it is what it is. And as he pointed out right at the beginning of the episode, Rookie begins to explain with the situation, to which the announcer goes, and I'm going to stop that right there because it's boring. I'm going to give you the full layout. And he does it in a very humorous way, which is very funny. I loved it. So, basically, there's a prom going to happen. The subtitle says a prom is going to happen. Nowhere in the show
You cannot
ever.
trick us, Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
You cannot trick us.
Nice try, Crunchyroll. There was no prom. I listened.
We're learning Japanese here.
Yeah, because if there was a prom, it would have been pramu. But never did anyone say pramu. No, it was all
Dance party.
yes. Every time the word prom shows up in the subtitle, you clearly hear them say dance party.
I mean, technically it's the same thing because they're picking a king and a queen.
Yes.
But they're clearly saying dance party. Come on.
So there's a dance party happening at this super prestigious super high school.
Yeah, the super high school with 3 buildings or whatever.
And one of them is unused.
It's supposed to almost be a college campus, a university campus, really, but it's small.
Well, the building is small.
The
Apparently,
buildings are
the
small.
grounds go on for days.
There's a lot of grounds and
that
tennis courts.
Only have 3 entrances, even though we looked at that map. I counted 7
entrances.
I counted 7 myself.
The rear entrance is somewhere.
There, and with another road there, and a road over here, and then there's this entrance.
I'm not sure if it really qualifies as a rear entrance.
So, 7-0 gets called in because there's been attacks.
There's attacks on people.
On potential prom queens.
Whatever, man.
And apparently, I guess there's some kind of like suspicion that Anthem was used, because otherwise 7-0 wouldn't have had jurisdiction.
Yeah, it's like you have to question what 7-0's jurisdiction is in investigating crimes against prom queens.
Because apparently they have that jurisdiction. Because I don't remember them saying that Anthem was involved. But somehow, like,
yeah,
Travis was able to wheedle them in. So, that was interesting. So, they go in there they pretend to be cops, just normal police officers doing a drug PSA. Like, you ever have that in your high school where they're like, the people who stand up like, don't do drugs, kids. That's that whole
I actually wonder what they do in other countries other than come over here in America and just say no.
Well, apparently we saw we put Boxer and Robot on stage to tell kids about how Anthem kills 30%.
Like, why would you want to take a drug that kills a third of the users?
I know. That's not 30%. Isn't a third.
It's 33% is a third. It's very close.
33.333333 repeating is a third.
You're getting very technical here.
Damn straight I am.
You just lost like 90% of the audience.
And then they'll have somebody randomly in a mascot costume just sort of standing there. That's apparently what they do. So,
that someone was Kirill.
Yes. To which Doug says, "Oh, you want to trade?"
Yeah,
I'll do it.
It's like this looks way easier.
I love it because like at the one point where they're questioning all the kids, all the boys in the high school are fawning over Robot, and it shows Doug standing next to her in the costume, and you can tell he's dozing off because
he's like falling asleep here. They're all asking Robot, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And she's like, we're supposed to be talking about drugs."
So, Boxer and Kirill, or what's his name? Buzzcut.
Agent Buzzcut.
Yes, Agent Buzzcut and Agent Boxer are out questioning, specifically these two teenagers, two cheerleaders, specifically, I guess.
The one girl who is like the shoe-in to become prom queen.
Who always talks about herself in the third person.
Yeah, she's
I would have had a hard time not punching her. I hate people who do that. It drives me up the wall.
And even given that, I can't remember her name.
Ellie. E-L-L-E. So L.
Okay.
I don't know. It was hard for her. I guess she was saying her name, but I couldn't pick it out. And then her friend, it's like you always, the popular pretty girl always has that one friend that she sort of like beats down into submission in movies and TV.
Spoiler: she's the bad guy.
What? So they're like Maxine Boxer. You can tell she's like focusing in on this chick, not the talks in the third person preppy chick, but the friend. She like homes in on her because she starts like, well, maybe it was blah 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 because blah 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 wanted this thing. It's like, usually criminals are the ones who blame other people when no one asks. No one asks. And
Maxine doing real police detective work here.
Yeah. And at first it looks like it's the prom king who's doing all the attacks.
Yeah, because the girl with the eye patch that stormed the stage in the beginning.
Yeah, the anti-prom chick.
Was like, cancel the dance party.
Dance party. Put down with...
gets attacked.
Down with looksism. What the fuck is looksism?
Yeah, I was really confused about that one because I'm like, looksism... Okay.
I don't know.
But who gets attacked?
The friend of
the eye patch girl
and the friend of the popular chick.
Yeah, so they get attacked or
supposedly.
Whatever.
And
they're pretty bruised up.
Yeah, Chris, the prom king, gets blamed for it. Because he's there and freaks out and runs like a kid would. But, so they're questioning, they tackle him, they question him, he's like, I don't even know.
They don't tackle him, they hit him with the bear head or whatever.
That's right, the bunny head. Fucking Robot comes out of nowhere and he hesitates for a second, and suddenly giant rabbit head.
Yeah, so Doug, threw this rabbit head, and wow, that was...
giant mascot head.
That was a great throw.
It was. So they're interrogating him. I love the lines he's like, have you been selling Anthem? And he goes, I don't even know what Anthem is. Because apparently he had a weapon. If they found a weapon and some Anthem in his bag.
Yeah, he was the prime suspect who was set up But since we're cheating, he's not the bad guy.
Yeah, because Boxer apparently knows. She knows. And it shows, like, next day, the friend just basically comes out and says to the prom queen, yeah, I set this all up, but now there's cops everywhere, and it's going to ruin the prom for you, and, I just went, I did all of this so you would be prom queen. I got rid of all the competition. And it's like Maxine comes out of nowhere, like, aha! I knew it! He's like, I had hoped it wasn't you, but it was. And she's like, the chick like freaks out and like just boom, anthems up.
And a very interesting thing happens here.
Yeah, she doesn't go to overdrive, apparently goes straight into overdose.
Which Carol's like, overdrive. He's like, no, overdose.
Yes, which apparently... Well, then again, we've seen people transform in this show before, but she transformed into a giant bee? Yeah, she's a giant bee now. And she kidnaps her... Well, I mean, we call her friend, but I mean...
She went full Mean Girls on her.
Yeah.
And she kidnaps her and flies into a sewer to...
While shooting lasers out of her butt.
No self-respecting person will ever shoot lasers or missiles out of their butt.
But she was doing it, as Boxer was trying to chase her on a motorcycle. And Boxer says, like, the key line. He's like, you didn't want her to be prom queen, you just wanted her to be your friend. And, like, B-Girl stops dead and just starts crying. And it was just like, okay, I guess she triggered her. And she fires her little bullet and saves the day.
And even though she turned into a giant bee, she was actually zero threat because everything got resolved in the end.
Yes.
Except the backstory of Maxine.
Yeah, that was actually...
who was told to the prom queen, who was being a super bitch to her friend by Robot.
Yep.
About how Maxine...
was not allowed to go to her prom.
No, she went to prom.
Well,
they showed up with her best friend.
Yes.
Who, I guess, wanted to be the prom queen?
Yes. So...
everybody rejected them and laughed at them?
Well, they went there cross-dressed. Like, he was dressed as a woman and she was dressed as a dude. And they weren't even allowed in the auditorium. They were kicked out.
Yes, they were kicked out by their shallow classmates.
Yes, their asshole shallow classmates weren't even allowed to enter the auditorium, so she never liked proms. She hates proms. So Kirill then just decides, I'm going to throw a prom, just a spontaneous prom in the office.
A dance party
for Boxer in the office. And it was like, aww. It was this cute little moment. It's didn't they say that Kirill planned the whole thing? Like, he tried to get all the stuff, and he's like, they said the line, like, Kirill tried to make sure it was all stuff that Boxer liked.
I find this hard to believe because we're using the words Kirill and plan in the same sentence.
We are, yes. But, hey, it worked. It was what it was. It was a cute episode. I really liked getting to see more of Boxer and Robot. I think they're like my favorite characters right now, currently. Even though their apartment, they really like plants. Like, a lot. Like, do you remember...
This is true.
Like, do you remember the movie, what was the name of the movie? Was it Troll? I think it was Troll. Troll 1? Where there's, like, the troll in the apartment building, and he's, like, going from apartment to apartment, turning it more and more into a forest.
I don't remember Troll.
I think that was Troll. And it's just, like... There's this, like, a scene where the troll, like, pricks the one dude, he turns into a pod that, like, bursts open and, like, plants go everywhere. That's what their apartment looked like. There's just potted plants everywhere. To which I like what you said about it. It's like...
Yes, this makes sure that Robot is in peak performance.
To which I asked, how does...
Don't question it.
Yeah, that's how it worked. So, yeah, it was... I did like to see, because...
This is a universe where giant bees fire lasers out of their ass.
That's true. So, it was a sweet episode. I did like it. I liked seeing more of Boxer and Robot. I really like to see more of their backstory. I want to see more of them in the future because of this episode.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the next episode we get, like, Pink and Rookie.
We already got an episode with them.
I want more.
I want more Boxer and Robot.
I want more Boxer and Robot and Pink and Rookie, because we've gotten an overload. We've gotten an overdose of Dougie Kirill.
Although, actually, what I want is because they're doing it every other episode, apparently. Apparently, the Legion of Doom in this universe is only good enough to show up every other episode.
Speaking of the Legion of Doom, do we have any names for them other than
Bamboo Man?
Bamboo Man,
Good-looking Joe.
Good-looking Joe, and Bamboo Man.
Yep, that's it. They even show up once this episode, so it almost feels like this episode was kind of filler.
They need to... Well, pretty good filler.
Yeah, it was a good filler, but it felt like that's what it was. So, was it this episode that had like the really long name for the next episode? No, that was
that was a different show.
So yeah, that was it was a good episode. It went back to the formula, but I felt they did it in a good way. Maybe, like I said, maybe it was because Boxer and Robot being the focus, changed up the dynamic somehow. But it felt good.
It was probably because it was more spread out over the episode instead of just like, oh, this is the comedic half and this is the serious half.
Yes.
Maybe they put that writer in a room and just locked him in there.
With some monkeys to write Shakespeare?
No, just locked him in a room.
All right, so that was Double Decker. We've liked it. I think I can say we both like this episode more than we have liked the show in the more recent past.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's definitely not episode 5.
Yeah?
And we're getting some better episodes out of it because we're focusing on other characters.
Yes.
So
I'm kind of because of how
normally
he is.
That would be.
I'm looking forward to the Travis heavy episode.
Normally that would be troubling, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah. So that was Double Decker. We enjoyed it this week, and with that said, moving right along.
Let's talk about Goblin Slayer.
I have no objections to that. I love talking about this show.
This week on Goblin Slayer. I said the thing.
You did.
Let's move on to the next episode.
Well, in this episode, there wasn't a lot of goblin slaying. There was not a lot of goblin slaying. There was a lot of Goblin Slayer laying.
There's there's like 0 goblin slaying in this episode, and Goblin Slayer was interested in doing this. So I'm kind of curious as to why they're going outside the central thesis of the show. But we start out at the beginning of the episode with Goblin Slayer waking up.
No, flashback.
Waking up.
Well, no, they showed Goblin Slayer as a kid.
Waking up.
Kid.
He was a kid and he woke up.
And, wait, was he waking up in the past?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we do start off with a flashback with Goblin Slayer as a kid.
Being trained by Rat Golem. It's like as if Gollum and a rat had a baby. It was really weird.
Yeah, they make a Lord of the Rings illusion here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rat Golem is giving him riddles, otherwise he's going to kill him.
Well, I think that what was going to happen is like he's in an ice cavern. There's like giant ice stalactites above him, and the rat goblin lights a fire next to him, insinuating, I guess, if he doesn't answer the riddles fast enough, the giant ice stalactites are going to come down and impale him through the top of the head.
We'll go with that.
I think that's what was going on. And he answers some riddles.
Yeah, so he succeeds in answering all of Rat Golem's riddles, and his final riddle is, "What do I have in my pocket?"
Yes, he literally does the "what's in my pocket," which is like, come on, that was lazy.
So obviously, Goblin Slayer is like, you've got the one ring in there. You know what? I don't even remember.
Well, I think the point of the whole dream was to show that he was trained to take action. There's no questioning.
Yeah.
There's no thinking. There's like there's either do or do not.
Well, to be honest, I can't remember how Bilbo in Lord of the Rings actually tricked Gollum out of that one.
I do, but we can talk about that later.
But after that, we get fast forward to buck naked Goblin Slayer waking up.
He's we finally see Goblin Slayer outside of his armor.
Outside of his armor, and he's not CG.
Nope. Laying next to Priestess.
Buck naked Priestess.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I think even he was he didn't seem too surprised by it. He's like, oh look, naked lady.
Yeah, okay. And so it had us questioning at the beginning, did they just
But apparently, no, they did not boing. Nope. At least it didn't seem that way. Apparently, it's...
What do you mean it didn't seem that way?
Well, no, the way they described it. It didn't actually sound like she had to physically do anything with him. She just had... Apparently, in the world of Goblin Slayer, I don't remember this being in the rules of D&D, but the resurrection spell works by laying in a bed with a virgin.
Okay, looks legit.
Yep, works for me, yep. Let's look through the handbook. Yep, seems legit to me. The resurrection spell got a lot easier, apparently in 7.5 edition, whichever they're playing. Because I remember resurrection being a fucking expensive as fuck spell.
Yeah, and then there is a spell above it called True Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
there's always the dick move when your party wants to dick you over. Reincarnation.
I don't want to talk about D&D because there's a lot of dick things you can do with XP in that game.
Yes, there is. So he wakes up and Sword Maiden comes in.
And
it's apparently very cold in that room.
It is very cold in here because she could cut diamonds with those nipples.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and she is tugging at her breast like a lot. Why?
She's like, I've got to adjust up here.
Yeah, let me just, and she's like running her arm through her cleavage and like putting her breasts up in Goblin Slayer's face, and it's just sort of like
double D's don't adjust themselves.
And talking about how she was like raped by goblins, and it's just sort of like, yeah, I was raped by goblins. I know you hate goblins, but I was raped by goblins. Look at my boobs.
Look at these. Yes. They bounce.
It's like, this is a really weird scene.
Like. Yeah, it is weird because she's talking about how she got captured by the goblins and raped by the goblins, and at the same time, the show is shooting her in a sexual manner.
Very much so. And then it ends with her going, I defeated the Demon Lord, but look at me. I'm so... She wants Goblin Slayer. She's like, I'm so frail and defenseless. I'm so scared of goblins, even though I was the one who defeated the Demon Lord. And it's just
I need a big strapping man like Goblin Slayer to take care of me.
She does. She's like, please, it's like Goblin Slayer, help me, protect me, and like touches his leg, his bare naked leg, and he just, okay. And she says, oh, and it was like, he goes, really? And she goes, and all he says is really.
And all he says is really. Can he not read the clues that I'm giving him?
I'm putting my cards. It's like having a deck in your hand, but going, man, I hope no one sees my cards. And Goblin Slayer, look at. It's like if you were in a poker game, you want him to win by showing him your cards, and he goes, oh look, I see your cards. Yep.
You've got a straight flush, and all I've got is... I fold, man.
So she puts her blindfold back on and walks out of the room. Priestess is all like, oh, you saw me naked! And then, like, the other three lizard...
she says, you saw me naked. And he's like, yeah, but don't worry, you don't have any scars.
It's like, it's like, woo! So the other three come in and they have this like, oh, look at the fun group dynamic. They all poke fun at each other, having that near-death experience.
And they're gonna do what they agreed upon, which is to go have a meal together, which they didn't talk about in the previous episodes.
Yeah, apparently they made a promise that they forgot to show us, or we forgot about, one of the two, that they were going to get a meal together. So they do, on the world's tiltest table ever. I mean, I don't really point out like art flaws a lot, but when they pan out to show the whole party sitting at the table, like the way that they did forced perspective, it looked like the table was.
Yeah, so maybe maybe the table was tilted a little, but I just think this is a great city for like a medieval era period.
Oh yeah,
it looked pretty nice.
It's like fucking Venice, man. It's like the medieval Venice. And it was actually really pretty with all like the waterways and everything going through it, and like the water side, the canal side, cafes and restaurants and shit. I'd want to visit.
I do want to talk about Goblin Slayer going to get his armor fixed. Because he goes into the armor shop
I love it because he goes in there with Priestess. The two of them are going shopping together. He's like, "Can you fix my chainmail?" And he's like, "Well, you buy, it's just, you can buy one for cheaper and quicker." Like, "Yeah, but I really want this one fixed." And he's like, "Was you, was you looking for a makeover?" And he like looks her up and down, and she gets all embarrassed and mad at him. Goblin Slayer just comes in with a sack. He's like,
he needs all of my armor fixed, except he's still wearing his goddamn helmet.
He's sitting there in tunic and pants, helmet. And he's like, "I need all this fixed."
You can't just walk in and be like, "Well, you know what? This guy's he's just a fucking weirdo."
He's like, "Fix all this." He's like, "Well, with expediency and all that's going to cost extra."
Here's this pile of cash.
And then, like, I think my favorite line was he goes in, "And I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna look at your swords." It's over. He's like messing. He's like, "It's a little long." And it's like, "Sir, those swords are only good for really killing like goblins or something." He's like, "I'm gonna kill goblins with them." And then there's like this. I really like the scene that occurs after this, where him and Priestess are just sort of like walking through the city, and it's sort of like we're starting to get more emotion out of Goblin Slayer.
Really?
Yes. He keeps saying "really" and "I see," and Priestess keeps calling him out for it. It's like, "You won't keep saying that." It's like, "Sorry." He's always apologizing, and he's like he's trying to learn social interaction, but he doesn't know how.
Well, that could happen when your entire life's plan was going around murdering goblins.
Yep, but he seems to want. He wants to. It's almost as if his priorities are shifting from goblin slaying to wanting to be friends, to wanting.
Are you
to
saying
do
that Goblin Slayer is getting character development?
Yeah, a little bit, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I mean, it's fun watching him devise plans and killing shit, in metagaming. But it is kind of because he metagames again. He does it again. Just wait. I swear to God, he's read the script. So they're sitting there. They go get ice cream. It's like he even learned. They're like, "How do you make that?" It's like he's super interested in the ice cream, and they have like this cute little moment together. Him and Priestess. They're just sitting on a bench, have a cute little moment. To which, the tit witch shows up out of nowhere.
Tit witch.
That's what she is. She's
the
a witch.
tit witch who has made the Lancer boy her bitch.
Yes. That was great. Comes with a big sack. It's just like you could have bought this here. It is like, why did he specifically...
He's like, "Why did you make me carry all this all the way over here?" To which I'm just gonna point out, Titwitch made him do it.
The Lancer dude yells at Goblins like, "Don't you ever make me do that again." It's like, Titwitch made you do it.
So, yeah, because Goblin Slayer summoned Titwitch, not him.
Yep.
She just made him come along and carry the sack of flour that he gives to Goblin Slayer.
Yep. So, but we don't know what's in there. We don't know what's in there.
Yes, we do.
They didn't tell us yet.
We're metagaming, like Goblin Slayer.
Yeah. So they meet up with the group and they go back in those sewers. They go back in the sewers, to which they find
a creature that cannot be named.
Actually, what I find funny is Lizard Man, he's like, "Behold." And
Behold.
And they look through the doorway, there's a beholder standing there.
The
creature that cannot be named.
Cannot be named.
Yep, creature cannot be named.
Otherwise, you will get sued.
Apparently. So they can't name the creature, even though it's clearly a fucking beholder. Minus a mouth. It didn't have a mouth for some reason. But, and it has disintegration ray. It has this anti-magic field. It has all the skills that a fucking beholder has. I loved it.
And it looks like a beholder.
Yeah, straight up.
It's definitely...
They spend about 5-6 minutes, like, laying out what a beholder can do.
It's definitely a beholder.
Yep. So, fucking... Goblin Slayer, apparently, like I said, he's metagaming. He is fucking metagaming the universe. Because he formed this plan before they ever got there and got the ingredients to do it. Because that sack he had was flour.
I want everybody to know that Featherhoof learned something tonight.
I did. I learned something today. Because I did not know that flour, especially fine-grained powder of flour, is the equivalent of fucking bombs. Because he instantly forms a plan. Again, he uses Elf as a distraction, Dwarf to put it to sleep. Then he has Elf wake it up with an arrow at the same time that he throws the flour in there, and Priestess puts up a barrier, and Lizardman causes one of his skeleton men to go in there to make the Beholder shoot his disintegration ray in the cloud of flour, which ignites it as if it were fucking gas. I did not know there was such a thing as, what did you call it?
It's a dust explosion.
Dust explosions. I didn't know that was a thing. Which makes me now want to dust my house, because I'm afraid the damn thing's gonna blow up. Jesus! Because
remember, kids, dusting is very important.
Apparently! Because then I was like, no, that's not it. Oh, look at the internet. It says it's a thing. Jesus Christ. How did he know? A, how did he know there was a beholder? B, how did he know that it would be in a tiny room that he could use a protection spell to block it off so the explosion wouldn't backfire on them? And C, he planned for this eventuality. He was fully planned for this eventuality. Specifically that day.
Let's just press F for the beholder.
Because that beholder got blown sky high. Literally. Because the next scene, when the explosion's done and they drop protection, it's like a cartoon. It's like stuck in the ceiling. With all its like eye stalks all like spread out like arms.
Now the only question that I have about the end of this episode, because this is the end.
Yeah, it just ends
is after they blow up the beholder. Goblin Slayer's like, I'm very interested in this, and it's like a mirror. How did that not get shattered?
Oh yeah, that's probably why he's interested in it. That's probably why I was like, okay, we just blew the fuck out of this room. There's a giant mirror there, and it's rippling. So, I'd be interested in a giant mirror that's rippling in front of me that didn't get even scratched by an explosion. So, that was Goblin Slayer, in a nutshell. I'm enjoying that they're giving him more, like, advancing his character. He's not just, just medieval Doom guy. He actually has a personality and a backstory.
Except he is Doom guy.
No, yeah, he is still Doom guy. But it just confuses me that he has the script. Somewhere, like, he has another scroll. That's probably the script for the goddamn show. And he knows exactly what's coming up.
Yes. Yeah, he's peeking over the DM's shield. And he's just like, yeah, what's going on there? And the DM's like, get out. And he's like, nope, gotta see everything here. Oh, yeah, we've got a beholder coming up, huh?
Okay, I better go get this and this and this. Because I don't know what's going on. It's not to say it's not fun to watch, though. It is it's still hilarious. But
I want them to get back to battles like they had with the Goblin Champion, where they kind of got wrecked in it.
Mm-hmm. Or I like the one where what was it, the Orc or Ogre?
Yeah,
that one was fun.
Yeah, we need some more. Mm-hmm. We need some more action where you're not just steamrolling the competition.
That kind of made me mad, though. They got wrecked by an Ogre and a Goblin Champion, but they one-hit KO'd a Beholder.
Hey, if it works, man.
You know what? I guess we're just going to roll with that. We're going to roll with it. So next episode, we're going to get a mirror. Yes, we are. I wonder if it's going to be like they're going to pull like a Kid Icarus, like the Dark Pit, where like the evil version of them come out of that mirror. They gotta fight evil versions of them.
I hope not.
I hope not, too. I don't want Brendan Braga writing fucking scripts for goddamn Goblin Slayer, but
if that is the eventual outcome of what we get next week, I'm like, man, we need to drop this show.
Yeah, really. That's usually the sign of when a show's about to die, when they pull like the evil versions of the main characters.
I'm Goblin Slayer. I slay goblins. But I'm evil.
But I don't keep my promise of not using fire.
I have
although, I loved it when High Elf called him out for using explosions. He's like, hey, you promised not to use fire? Well, it's poison.
Fire, poison, or
waterboarding?
Waterboarding, yeah.
And he goes, I technically didn't use fire. he used the disintegration ray on the powder, which made it explode. That was not using fire. He tried to use semantics on her, and I loved it. But
yeah, so my only comment about that is because if there was an evil universe Goblin Slayer, he has to go around with the helmet on his head because he doesn't want everybody to see the evil curly mustache.
no. He's gonna have it. It's gonna be painted on. It's just gonna be on the outside, and the little goatee, just like on the outside of the the face plate.
He has to wear the armor all the time because he looks like Robbie Rotten. You know the guy.
That would be good. That would be a good thing. I would want to see Robbie Rotten. Hilarious.
That's what he looks. That's what the evil version of Goblin Slayer looks like.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. So we'll find out what's on the other side of that mirror in the next episode.
That would make me say, okay, we don't have to drop it.
Yes. So with that, Goblin Slayer was fun this week. Like I said, confusing. Like I said, Sword Maiden just like putting all the signs out there because she wants to bone Goblin Slayer for some freaking reason. For
all the girls want him.
That's true. It seems
Cowgirl, Guild Girl, Sword Girl.
Well, Priestess doesn't. It doesn't seem High Elf wants him either.
Give Priestess 3 more years.
Yeah, she'll probably get there. Yeah, but so she was basically it was just confusing watching her throw herself at Goblin Slayer, and then like I said, the fact that he's metagaming this world is so. You shouldn't be able to one hit KO a beholder. There should be no universe where you can one hit KO a beholder.
You can one hit KO him if you read the rules. If you do more than 50 damage, at least at 3.5, you have to make a Fortitude saving throw, or else you die instantly.
Well, yeah, there is that. Anyway, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and move right along. And next is Iroduku, because why the hell not? This show, man, Hitomi flips back and forth every freaking episode. One episode should be like, I hate magic. The next episode, like, I love magic. And this is another one of those episodes where she's just back to like, magic is a good thing. I like the magic. But it mostly, like, the first part of the episode is mostly Kohaku wanting to like try and get her colors back. She's like doing all these experimentations and...
Yeah, so at least one of the experiments, I felt like that's what is actually making Hitomi see colors again.
What was that?
Because I interpreted it, maybe it's when her emotions are coming alive.
Yeah.
But during Kohaku's intense experimentation.
I loved her experimentations. This was fun. And nothing else for this episode. I loved watching her do the experiments.
She finds out that this is not the case.
No, it is not. Though she does speculate, she wonders if Hitomi had used a spell on herself unconsciously.
Yeah, she comes to the conclusion that there's some unconscious spell usage that Hitomi used that is blocking her color vision. Which,
she comes to this conclusion based on the idea that Hitomi used that spell on herself unconsciously, without trying, on accident, to go inside Aoi's art. Remember? I mean, I can see that. I can see that. And also because she caused that train to happen when they did the picture spell.
Yeah.
So she's using magic unconsciously, and she figures...
That seems like a very bad condition to have.
Especially if you're a mage. So she's trying to bring out the color in Hitomi's vision. And what she does is she keeps getting Hitomi and Aoi in a room together to try and get her heart aflutter or her emotions to rise. She keeps trying to get them close to each other or to touch each other. Or I love
very lewd episode.
Yep. And she's like, okay, wait. So let's try something. When was the first time you saw color? And she's like, oh, when I saw his art. They bring his Aoi's tablet out. He's like, so do you see colors now? Yeah, just in that. She's like, okay, what about this picture book? The art that's just like it. She's like, no, that doesn't work. How about this art book? No, that doesn't work. I love when she gets like, she then tries like, almost like she's trying to be magic matchmaker. She hides behind the bookshelf and like causes the books to fall, and both of them go under.
It's because she got impatient.
Yes.
Because they're sitting there doing nothing.
He's like, what are you, in fucking grade school?
She's like, okay, books move. The books fall off the table, and they're like, oh, we gotta go get these things, and they both go under the table, and it's going to be one of those romantic comedy misunderstandings, but Kohaku just overdoes it.
She uses her magic to cause the chairs to trap them inside underneath the table.
And then Hitomi figures it out. She's like, oh, it's Kohaku.
Then Kohaku's like, oh, sorry. I was like, so, did you feel anything?
Did you guys feel anything?
And Hitomi goes, well, I am a little mad at you right now.
So yeah, she definitely felt something.
Yeah. But unfortunately it didn't bring her color back. So while she's doing that, it also shows that she's also studying time magic. So because she wants to make sure she doesn't create a paradox in the fucking future. But
Who cares about paradoxes?
Well, she says, she's like, I gotta make sure that I'm good at this so that when the time comes, I can send her back. And also to, be able to send her back home. And she's actually like, she shows herself to be a pretty badass mage. She uses a little bit of time magic to unwilt a rose.
I like how in the original timeline, Kohaku had to wait 60 years of gathering magic in this thing to be able to use a time spell.
Well, no. It's been that long to create that artifact that would send Hitomi 60 years into the past. It didn't say it took her that long to learn time magic.
Well, anyway, she's actually a very badass time mage.
Well, sorta.
She's a badass time mage.
Sorta.
She's getting there.
Yeah, she's learning, but
she's better than you.
Damn straight. And that's because I gave up on that. Not because I sucked at it. It wasn't because of that, but because I didn't think it was cool anymore. So.
It was just a phase.
Yes, there we go. So, meanwhile, it's like apparently it's part of like the club that they're all in to. Each person's supposed to pick a project, like to go a place to take pictures with a theme. And Hitomi hasn't picked one yet. So she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know where to go or what to do. Because, I don't have any, place that's special to me.
Being indecisive.
The vice president of this fucking club, and,
The vice president with the president, both of who don't know what they want to do.
Yep. So, through Hitomi's machinations, she helps her pick a place. It's just like the random streets, the streets she walks home every day. So, the back alleys and the stairs and all this other, just traditional residential, places and streets and such. Which, in and of itself can be, very beautiful photos, and they're taking photos of it. And it's actually a nice little scene. And, but it keeps showing Sho. And he keeps doing these edgelord moments. Or he's always sort of it keeps showing leaning against a wall, looking very
Itachi killed my entire family.
Yeah, he's got this very Sasuke looking face on. But then people will come around and he's like, oh hi, yeah, I'm not edgelord over here. I'm a happy guy. But he overhears Hitomi and Kohaku talking, where Kohaku's like, do you want to go back? If I can figure out how, do you want me to send you back? And she doesn't have an answer. But Sho's he doesn't seem too happy about it.
I'm gonna get my revenge on everybody. Silence these fools. I'm going down to the darkness.
He talks to Aoi, because he knows Aoi. I think he can see that Aoi and Hitomi have a bit of a thing happening. And he asks him bluntly, he's like, what if Hitomi went back? What if she wanted to go back? What would you... how would you feel about that? And he's like, well, it's her circumstances. She does what she want to do. And Sho's calls him out.
Takes this much better than Sho, because Sho is like, man, if she goes back, I'm gonna unlock the eternal Bangekyo Sharingan, and I'm gonna raise hell.
He's not very happy. He's like, we're all starting, we're all getting along now. Which that was a weird sentence, because I'm like, you weren't before? It seemed like they were getting along to me. But he's like, we're all getting along, and I don't know, I like her being here. And Aoi is like, you like her here too. Come on, don't pull that bullshit on me, pretending to act tough. He's like, I'm not pretending to act tough. You are. He actually did the chat like, you are. I'm not. You are. I'm not. And it's, I don't know what, suddenly the show is, he's leaving school at the end of this semester. I don't know why he's this invested in Hitomi staying.
It's because Itachi killed his entire family. It's gonna reveal this, and Iraduki's gonna go on for another 500 episodes.
I don't know what's going on. I hope they explain that. That's something this episode kind of annoyed me, because they didn't explain that at all. It's just, Sho is really upset that Hitomi might go back to the future.
I guess he really wants his bro to get hooked up with Hitomi because he sees how close they are.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Something about this episode that bugged me, though, is that we didn't get any really insanely detailed shots.
We did or didn't?
Didn't.
That is true. You're right.
Like, I want my faucets and my...
and your cobblestones.
I need my faucets and my cobblestones. Otherwise, my chi is fucked up.
So, they have this, like, you know, it's like there's even a scene where Hitomi is messing around with Photoshop, you know, or messing with the photos to try and, you know, mess with the contrast and the
yeah,
all that.
Bring out the lighting more.
Yeah, because like shows like talking about it's like, you know, when you first started, you were a bit of an amateur, and all your shots were really dark, but now you're really working with lighting, and it's, you know, looking really good. You know, they all know she can't see color, by the way. You know, and again, as we predicted, they were like, okay, don't care.
Off-screen the color reveal. Or the black and white reveal, because she doesn't see in color.
Yeah. So, it's like, he's gonna... It's like he goes edgelord for a second again. He's like, hey, Hitomi, I got a question. And then she's like, oh,
like,
what is it? What?
Itachi killed my entire family.
He goes, all of a sudden he puts a smile like, never mind.
It's nothing, man. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's like, okay. He's like, if you need help, you know, just ask me, and I'll help you with your photo manipulation there. Got it. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. So this is another episode where the drama kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, it is. Although it does. I mean, it's a little bit of character development, but it's like, unfortunately, we can't see where they're going here. The only thing that the episode really sets up is that Hitomi's now happy, and she doesn't want to go back to the future now. She just tells Kohaku, you know what, I don't think I want to go back.
Yeah, I want to stay right here. This is the place for me.
Kohaku looks concerned about that.
Well, her entire shtick at the end of the episode was that I want to use my magic to make everybody happy, but
right.
Using magic to make people happy is really difficult.
Yes. So, I'm interested, I mean, this episode, okay, this is going to sound very contrarian. I enjoyed the episode. Again, I love the characters, I love the dynamic with the group. I love watching them, you know, interact with one another. It's still charming as, you know, all get out. But like you said, they were setting up a drama and things that just went nowhere.
And now, contrary to what Kohaku said,
okay,
is that because she wants to use magic to make people happy, where her younger self runs into this problem, her older self has actually accomplished this.
Yes.
Because Hitomi's becoming happy. So...
yeah? So...
there's a paradox?
Yeah, we may be having a problem. I mean, technically speaking, unless this is like Dragon Ball Z, where going back in time doesn't actually affect the future, just creates an alternate timeline, she has to make sure that, you know, Kohaku in the future knew that it was safe to do whatever it is she did. Because like, there's even a part where Kohaku talks to her grandmother, and she's like,
it wasn't even safe because in the first episode she just ambushes her and she's like, "You're going back to the past, and you don't get any choice."
But it's like, Kohaku's grandmother's like, "Look, your future self, she didn't tell Hitomi how to reverse the time spell, how to send her back. She must have done that for a reason. So trust in your future self."
Well, she goes on to say that she trusted that you would be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of took it to mean as, you know, that there might not even be a way to send her back. It's just a one-way trip as well.
Well, I thought that's what they said in the first episode.
Yeah, and I think they said that in the first episode. Once I do this, blah, 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 you can't
Well, no,
back.
it was the first or second episode, they were like, you know, it was a one-way trip. You know, there's no way to undo a time spell.
But then they're hinting here that there's a way to...
yeah, because Hitomi's like working really hard with experimenting time magic, which we should get into that. Because there was even a time she fixes the rose, right? And she tried. Asagi's camera breaks, and she uses time magic to fix it.
Yeah, so she's having some success with the time magic.
But she goes home, and the flower's wilted. I mean, it wasn't even a day. The flower wilted. And she's like, well, what happened? And she's like, well, who knows? She didn't really. The grandma didn't really have an answer for it. Just it wilted.
Oh, you see, I just didn't water it, so.
And she calls up Asagi instantly. She runs to Asagi's place, and she's like, "You're right. You called and said it. Looked at the camera. It's not working already." So the time magic isn't permanent. It's not.
Or she's just not good enough at it.
Something's not right yet. But it seemed to really trouble her. Like it was another thing that looked like it really troubled her. I don't know if it's just because she's trying to get good, or if there was like some indication of what that means. That the things just ended up breaking all over again.
They don't answer any of these questions, and we're going to have to find out in the next episode of Iroduku Z.
Yes. So, like I said, we can't really give a conclusion here. We can't really sum it up, because even this episode didn't sum anything up. It set up about 3 or 4 different things to...
One of them which went nowhere?
Well, no, all of them didn't really go anywhere.
Well, I was talking specifically about show edgelording and...
Yeah, that completely went nowhere. That was like drama for drama's sake. I don't know why Show suddenly became edgelord, but he did. So, that was Iroduku. I wouldn't say it's one of its strongest episodes. It was confusing, but there's just something so charming about the characters themselves and the interactions they have. So, understand that if you go into this episode. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and talk about our final episode of this week.
And coming in last is Zombie Land Saga. Who saw this one coming?
I did ask. I don't remember if I asked on camera, but I know I asked you a while ago. What happens were those like Junko or Lily or I or what's her name?
There is an I.
The other idol, the one who was in Iron Frill, was that I?
Yeah, I was in Iron Frill because she's the one who got struck by lightning and...
Or Sakura, people who would still have living relatives. Wouldn't if they started an idol group and they were popular and they were on TV, wouldn't their parents eventually, even by accident, see them and recognize them?
Yeah, so we get a Lily-heavy episode.
This episode, while it actually pulled back on the comedy, there was still some comedy, but it was really feels heavy.
There was foreshadowing in the earlier episodes, because we have Lily's heart on the outside. It's when you focus on this episode, it's just going to hit you right there.
Yeah. Yep. So they're out doing... they I love it when, what's his name, Ryoga, or... What?
Are you talking about the producer?
Yeah.
That's Tatsumi.
Tatsumi comes in, he has a conch shell horn, but it doesn't even make the conch shell...
So he's not blowing it, he's just making the noises. He's like, you're popular! He's like, do you know what that means? And she's like, well, it means that, he's like doing his shtick. Actually, kind of funny, he's like, He says something to Sakura. I can't remember what he says to her, but she's like, but it doesn't matter what I say because you're going to yell at me not to let it go to my head. He goes, wrong, you stupid zombie! This is the kind of stuff you're supposed to let it go to your head! Yeah, he's up to his usual crazy antics, but I kind of feel like he was not as hilarious this episode.
No.
And maybe I'm let down because of what he did in the previous episode. But... He's still Tatsumi.
He is.
He's the guy we know and love.
But he doesn't have much. That's pretty much the only thing we get from him. Like, he shows up in the rest of the episode, but he doesn't really say or do much. So
that's because we're too busy crying our eyeballs out over Lily's story.
Yeah, so they're out. They're now doing like a bunch of mini concerts, signings, all kinds of other things. And suddenly it goes to an office building. Just an office building where... Hey, we're gonna.
We're going to lunch.
Yeah, what do you guys? What do you want? I don't want. Hey, go! What do you want? And stands up is this behemoth of a human being. He with a tiny head, a tiny bald head, with this giant, grotesque human body. He walks.
Each time he walks, you can hear it. It's audible.
He's like, no, I don't want nothing. No.
I'm just going outside.
Yeah, he doesn't want nothing. But as he's going by, he looks at the TV. It's doing the chicken commercial.
Yeah.
And he sees Lily, and he's like, oh. He pulls a Hank Hill. You're like, oh.
And he's like, I don't like TV, man. He's kind of going edgelord.
Yeah, he's a little. He's not even going edgelord. He's just sad.
And there's some other guy in there that's commenting because they don't give these other guys in the office building any names they give the one guy a name because he's always ordering the same thing.
Yeah, something Sicilian.
Somebody just is like, yeah, some people these days they don't even like TV anymore, which I guess is true because I don't watch TV.
I don't really either. I watch some things I've been watching stuff like BoJack Horseman and the new Voltron series.
TV,
it's on my TV, but yeah, I don't watch TV anymore. Yeah, but so he sees Lily and he gets this look on his face, and he goes to the signing. They're all there.
Well, before that, they kind of set him up like a creeper.
Well,
because we're like, what is going on with this guy?
He goes outside to eat lunch by himself or something, and he's in front of a playground, which first off is like, why are you sitting at a playground? And a child's there, he's like, hi! And he's like, ah.
He goes really creepy, and then her mother runs up and is like, what are you doing?
And drags her daughter away, and is like, okay. And he goes to the signing, and he instantly goes into Lily's line. And they all see her. Sakura and Saki are talking. He's like, dude, do you see that?
That dude's fucking huge.
Jesus. And it's like, oh, he's getting in Lily's line. Oh, fuck. Wait, he might try to kidnap Lily. Oh, fuck, he might try to kidnap her. Okay, let's keep it. Wait, let's tell Tatsumi. Oh, fuck, where's Tatsumi? He's gone to get Lily's.
Yeah, because they think that he was a loan shark or something.
Yes, that's right.
And they were coming for the producer, but then he goes into Lily's line, and they're like, he's gonna kidnap Lily?
So, this is my favorite scene of the show, though. As far as the comedy goes. He sees her, and he's just that look of utter disbelief, kneels down and puts both his hands on her shoulders, his giant hands that are bigger than his head.
Yeah, his hands are bigger than his head. I actually did that during the episode. I was measuring my hand against my head. I was like, this dude's hands are bigger than his head.
And he touches Lily, to which Saki comes enter Saki, stage
he doesn't
left.
Touch Lily, he puts his entire hands around her. She's engulfed in this massive hands.
And she, what do you call that move where she's does this running drop kick to his face and sends him, she's apparently powerful as fuck. She
kicks him right in the face.
It sends him 30 feet.
350 to 400 pound guy gets sent flying by a kick from Saki.
The yak.
Yeah, she called him a yak.
They refer to him as the yak.
I'm not sure what relevance that is because I guess it's just a Japanese thing.
I don't know. So they interrogate him and he's like, look, I'm really sorry, it won't happen again, and he leaves. And Lily just sort of goes, well, that was my dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait,
that was
tiny
your dad?
little
She's
Lily.
Yeah, I kind of take after my mother more.
And he's at least 7 feet tall. At least 7 feet tall. He's Andre the Giant size, if not bigger.
He puts Andre the Giant to shame.
He kind of does. But she goes into her whole backstory. Her name was Gomaso. Saki teases her for her real name.
Lily's not her real name.
No. Her name apparently Masao.
Yes.
Masao Go. Yeah. And her name is Tosago or something like that.
Yeah. And this cracks Saki up. She's like, God, that's so funny.
It's the most masculine name I've ever heard.
Your name is so butch.
So we actually get to see...
And then she's like...
First off, it's actually a sad story.
It's a really sad...
Lily's talking about how the only way they really bonded was over TV. Her dad loved TV. They bonded over it. They always watched TV and laughed together.
And she loved watching it with him at first.
Yeah. But then, so she's decided, okay, Dad loves TV, and he smiles and is happy with TV. I will be on that TV so that he can see me on the TV and be happy. But unfortunately, it sort of backfires because the moment she gets hired by an agency, he quits his job to become her manager. And she's not too happy about that. I mean, at first she's not bothered by it at first,
Well,
but
he's kind of consumed by watching watching the TV, and he's watching her on the TV.
Yeah,
with her right next to him, and she kind of feels like he's getting really distant.
Yeah, because like she's like, Dad, can we just go out together once in a while? Because he's watching her on TV, and he's like, oh, Lily's on TV, and oh, they fucked up that shot. Oh, they should have showed her the. And she's standing right there. He's ignoring his daughter. He's watching his daughter while ignoring his daughter. And she's not too happy about that.
And then we get a flash forward of him trying to get her out of her room to go to some TV thing.
Well, no, she was doing a TV thing, and she stormed off stage because she found out that she's hitting puberty.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to grow up. She wants to stay a child forever. And she had hairy legs.
Yeah, she has hair on her legs. Like, just go shave them.
Yeah,
Come on.
But he's like, look, they won't air that shot. I promise you. We'll have them take, by contract, they can't air that if you don't want it, and this and the other. She's like, no, I don't want to be out there. And she's arguing with her dad through the door, and she goes to the mirror, and we find out how she died. She goes to the mirror,
looks at herself in the mirror.
So he talks about how I never want to grow up. I want to be young forever because Dad only likes me when I'm young. And
I'm so
adorable.
adorable,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
And she, I think I got some seaweed from yesterday's blah, 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 dinner, lunch, or whatever.
It was breakfast.
Oh, breakfast. And she's like, trying to scrape it. And wait a minute. And she pulls. First off, puberty or not, a child with a hair that long on their chin, Jesus Christ, what kind of well, I was gonna say what kind of fucked up genetics, but then look at the dad.
Well, she finds out that she has a hair on her chin.
One hair.
One little hair that she's pulling on her. She's like, this traumatized her so bad.
That she died from shock on the spot.
From shock.
She literally died from shock on the spot because she found a hair on her chin.
Press F for Lily Masao go. We salute you, Masao.
Yep. So, they go back, they do another... they go and do another signing. They're selling shirts. She's selling shirts. He shows up again.
He's like, I just wanted to say I was sorry.
Yep, I'm going to apologize.
I will never show up again.
I promise you, I'll never even show up again. He's like, but I did want to buy a shirt.
I did want to buy a shirt.
And at first, she almost gives her identity away. She's like, oh, but I don't think they have 5XL. He's like, oh, how did you know that was my size? Oh, just a guess. Just a guess. Like, no, I'll take an extra small. She's like, oh, why? He's like, oh, I had a daughter, she was about your age, and she died some time ago. And he's very sad, he's morose a little bit, and it makes her sad, and they don't know what to do, They have a group meeting, and they decide, you know what? We're going to do something about this. And they show them a montage. It's this beautiful montage, like, Tatsumi's writing the music on writing it out on a piano and writing it. The girls are practicing some song, and Go gets a flyer to their next concert mailed to him at his office.
An invite.
To which he crumbles it up. Or rather, his coworker
crumpled it up. He's like, yeah, whatever. You don't need to go to this.
Yeah. So it shows them they're at their spontaneous concert, and if you haven't watched the episode, and you've gotten this far, stop listening to us. Go watch the episode. Because it's just, you need to have the feels hit you. They're like, oh, he hasn't shown up and it's our last song. Shit, what are we gonna do? He's like, oh, maybe he won't show up. Boom, 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 boom. It shows
we hear it. And at this point, they add screen shake.
They do. It shows him running to make the concert. And he's standing in the back. And they're like, okay. And they set up the song that number 6, Lily, is the lead vocalist for, and basically through song and through the lyrics, basically tells her dad everything she never got to tell him before she died. She tells him how much she loves him, how much she loved watching TV with him. It's just it is honest to God, so heartfelt.
So Featherhoof, can you help me with my confusion here?
Please.
Why was this not in CG?
That, you know what? Yeah, I know, and they actually did a whole performance where they didn't turn the girls into CG, and it actually made it all the better. It was even better for it. but I don't know how you felt. Maybe it's because I don't know. In my older age, I
hit me in the feels. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I teared up a little bit. I will honestly got teared up a little bit because just the lyrics of the song, the scenario, what's going on, his reactions to it, and it's so fucking touching. Oh my god.
I will be glad to have lived to see the entirety of Zombieland Saga. I don't want to drop dead before then.
Okay. All right. But this episode was just so good. Oh, it was so good. And again, it did sort of answer the question: what happens when people who still knew them when they were alive happen to see them again? And it definitely gave us an idea. And it was
a very emotionally filled episode.
Yeah. And it actually heals Go. It actually heals because it shows he stops being reclusive. You know, his coworkers are like, "Oh, we're gonna," you know. At this point, they don't even ask him anymore what he wants for dinner or for lunch, rather. He just pipes in. He's like, "I'll have a blah 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 blah." Like,
like, "Whoa, you're staying here with us?"
Like, yeah. He sits down and starts watching TV with them.
And it's your favorite commercial. Dude, and his coworker's like, "Oh man, this is a hilarious commercial. We love it."
Yeah. It was so... God, fuck, this episode...
I think,
this episode fucked with me.
By the end of the episode, I think he knew that was actually Lily.
Yeah. I don't know. I imagine if he was a father of any stripe, if he actually knew that, he would try to get his daughter back, but... I think he maybe saw it as prominence, or... his daughter talking to him beyond the grave. I don't think he actually believed that was his daughter. So obviously she hasn't aged in however many years since she died.
Well, she looks just like her because she is her.
Yeah, but she's her that hasn't aged. But what I even liked even more is, like, early in the episode, Lily and Sakura are talking, and Lily's like, maybe it would be easier if I didn't remember anything like you, Sakura. And she, when she was telling her the story of her dad, she's trying just to keep the smile on her face. She's like trying to find justifications. She's like, hey, now that I'm a zombie, now I will stay young forever. I'll never age. And she's trying to find justifications. She tells the story of her dad, and she breaks down, and just cries on Sakura. And this episode has so many feels. It's just a beautiful, beautiful episode. Do you have any final thoughts on it? Because I can't... I'm just going to sit here and reiterate over and over how beautiful and touching this episode was.
My final thoughts are the title for the next episode. Which you are thinking, oh, Saki is just talking.
I thought... yes. If you wait till the credits at the end, they always sometimes describe what's going to happen next episode. I thought it was legitimately describing it. No. That is... the full name of that episode is... what, at least 40 words long?
This is a massive wall of text.
Yep.
That... like, they set it up like she's talking about how she died and what her story's gonna be, but then it's like, this is the episode title.
So...
can't wait to see this one.
Yeah. Is it a Saki-heavy episode next one?
I'm assuming it is.
Okay, so we'll see how that turns out. If you haven't watched the episode, please go Prepare to Cry. If you have a soul at all, you'll cry. And it's a beautiful episode. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and end this week here. That was it for week
8.
I don't know why I have a hard time remembering what fucking week it is.
Critical mission failure.
Once again, I keep rolling ones. I can't help it. The DM keeps saying roll intelligence check, and I keep getting ones on it. I don't know why. Someone's fucking loaded my dice.
Are you sure that's not your actual score?
Well, I got a +1. My modifier is +1, so I have I have at least a 12.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah, 10, 11 is 0. Yeah, 12, 13 is 1. So there you go. So we're gonna come back for week 9. Again, this season is not disappointing us at all. Yes, there are some weak episodes, but there's nothing just outright bad this season. And at least what we're watching.
And therefore, I'm going to say, I think that next season is looking to shape up to be terrible.
Yes, let's all pretend that the next season. Well, but let's believe.
Let's believe
that the next season is going to be awful. So apparently, because that's what it takes. We were like,
when CarnagePanda says this, it turns out to be the reverse.
Yeah, we skipped a couple seasons before we came back in the summer, and we were like, oh look, there's a lot of good things coming in the summer, and there was some utter trash. They were like, ugh, fall doesn't look like it's shaping up to be very good. Fall came, we have nothing but good.
Nothing but good.
Yeah. So here's to hoping that, because we're on the downward slope now, we are in the final fourth of the season. They got to start wrapping these up soon.
They're gonna go just final episodes now, because usually by the last three, which are 10, 11, 12, that's the last arc. So we're probably gonna get one more focusing on other stuff. Although Zombieland Saga, they still have to focus on Tai and Sakura
and the geisha.
Oh yeah. So
what was her name?
Yugiri.
Was she a geisha? I'm assuming, because she came from she was like feudal Japan. Like,
she was from the Meiji era. So
yeah,
I think they said 1860s or 1870s is when she was alive,
and somehow she didn't decay. But
and so yeah, we got the mystery of how Tatsumi got her body.
Yugiri.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How Tatsumi. Yeah. So let's see. So we still got Sakura needs her memories back. Yugiri's how she didn't decay to dust, and
Yamata happened with Yamata Tai.
I'm still calling it. She's awoke, and she's playing. Other than that, the only show that I'm truly worried for is Double Decker. I am truly worried about.
You're truly worried about it.
I am. Not that it's bad. I just think it's going to peter out.
Oh, okay. Maybe it does.
And Iradugu, I'm not. I'm also mildly worried for Iradugu.
Mildly.
It's charming, but it's already starting to not go places. It's already starting to what's the phrase? Drag its feet a little bit.
I'm going to talk to you about the final 4 episodes of Angels of Death after this.
Oh, goody. So I have something to look forward to, and you guys have something to look forward to, too, next week. But to get there, we have to end this episode here. Guys, if you enjoyed it, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.